Welcome to the Angie.CPA Show, a show where we care about bringing confidence to this financial chaos. I'm Angie Grainger, CPA, personal financial specialist, and certified financial planner. And I'm here because I want to help bring some kind of pathway to sanity in and amongst all of this chaos that's going on around us. And I tell you what, it doesn't matter if it's in the middle of a political storm or if the markets are going up or going down. There is complexity in our finances. And I know from being a financial advisor for decades that it is hard to understand what's what. And so we're here to break this down for you. And at the end of this show, what I really hope is true for you is that you're back in the driver's seat of your finances. I want you to have that confidence and understanding and knowing, what does all this chaos mean to you? So today, I want to talk about 401ks. That's really hot right now in the news, but it has been for years anyway, because way back in the day, it used to be that you would work your whole career and you'd retire and you wouldn't just get a gold watch. Or I don't even think you get that nowadays, but you'd get a pension for the rest of your life. Well, that went away decades ago. And guess what? You've been put the responsibility to save for your own retirement without any instruction on how to do that. Hey, before we dive into it, I created this quick guide on 401ks so that you have it right at your fingertips. So click on the link in the description. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe and sign up for our notifications so that you know when we release new videos. 401k is actually a tax strategy. Now, tax strategies are true for almost all aspects of our finances. Believe it or not, the tax code has one code. Code 61, everything's taxable. And then from there, it's volumes and volumes and volumes of exceptions as to why that doesn't apply. And so in this case, your 401k is one of those tax codes. And it's that code that allows you to have income growing and not get taxed on the earnings until later on in life when you go to take it out or when you retire. Now, there's all kinds of variations to that, Roth 401ks, and then you've got your IRAs, and you've got all kinds of different retirement accounts that are possible. And that's where the complexity starts to creep in, especially if you've worked multiple jobs in your life and you have all kinds of these retirement accounts going on. And that's my job here today, is to start to break these things down to put you back in control of your finances. We don't have time to go through all of them, so we're just going to start with the 401k. So like I said, it's a tax code that allows you to defer paying taxes on part of that money. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Personally, I think it's not a good thing, but it is a way, like all tax codes and tax restructuring, it's about putting controls or putting social preferences together under political agendas. And for example, what I mean by that is when the government wants you to invest in electric cars, for example, you get an electric car credit. Or if they want you to buy more houses, they give you credits for buying houses or deductions on the interest. And when it comes to 401ks, it's because they want you to save for your future because they know that there isn't pensions anymore from your companies. And they also know we're terrible at saving. And so they have to provide incentives to us to be able to save for the future. And because it got so bad at us being so bad at doing it, that's where they started giving benefits or instructions or penalties for employers not contributing to it as well. So a 401k is a tax strategy from the government to help us save more. Now, the good thing about that is you get a tax deduction now for it, right? Everybody loves tax deductions. However, the bad thing is not just that it's going to be taxable later when you go to pull that out, chances are in this environment, those tax rates are going to be much higher. But worse than that is you've actually lost the benefit of capital gains. What does that mean? So capital gains are a tax rate that's lower than your ordinary income, the income that you get from working and whatnot. It's lower on the things that appreciate. And when you go to sell them, you have a better tax rate when you go to sell that than you do if you worked for that money. Now, I don't even know if that makes sense, honestly. But anyway, we'll get to that another time. The point is this, is that if you bought $100 stock today, on your own, let's say you bought $100 for Chevron stock and you had it in your brokerage, it wasn't in your 401k, and you let it sit there, and 30 years later when you go to retire, that stock is now $1,000. When you go to sell that excess, that amount that it grew to, that $900, is going to be taxed at a lower capital gains rate. However, if you put that same $100 in a Chevron stock inside your 401k and it grew to $1,000, that whole entire $1,000 is coming out at the ordinary income rates, the higher tax rates. So you've lost the benefit of the lower tax rate on the capital gains by doing that. Well, it's a benefit to you now, but it's a benefit to the government to help you get money saved for retirement. And the whole entire strategy breaks down if you're not good with money and you pull that money out before retirement. So, with all of those basics now understood, we can say, well, what's going on today? Why do people freak out? My 401k, the stock market dropped, my 401k. Well, I tell you what, this is a basic fundamental of finance is number one, buy low and sell high. And number two, earn more than you spend. Now, if you keep those two fundamental principles in place, then you can step away from the noise of everything that's happening in the market and everything that's happening in the news and all the panic and all the strategy and explaining and trying to understand, and keep it very simple for yourself and just look at your 401k account. Like literally open the statement. It's surprising how many people won't open the statement. Open it, go online, look at the PDF, whatever that is, and look and see what you actually own. From there, you can make decisions about should I sell, should I buy. Now, if we're talking about a time frame that's decades away, you can look back at what the market's done over decades before and look forward and say, you know what, there's probably time that I have on my side. So maybe I can not react to all the chaos and trust the strategy that you have this money sitting there for 10, 20, 30 years, and it will continue to grow for you, most likely over time. Now, if you're in a position where you are expecting to retire next week and all of a sudden your whole portfolio dropped down, is that a crisis for you? Well, it would be if you sold everything while the prices were low and cashed out. But when you go into retirement, what happens is you strategize the needs of when you're going to need that money. You're not going to need all of it tomorrow, so you're not going to cash it all out tomorrow. So again, it's being able to, now you got to look at what you have and what happened, but now you have to flip to what do you need? And then you can start to say, what do I need for retirement this year and next year and the year after? And you can make one small decision based on what you need now and not make a global, broad, grandiose decision. Oh my God, my whole 401k just collapsed. I'm in dire straits, and then cash out, and you don't need all that money right now. So it's being able to think with what you personally need. And that means being willing to sit down and look at how much money do you need from your portfolio or your 401k this year, next year, 5 years, 10 years from now, and to break down that portfolio into bite-sized pieces to match your needs with the portfolio. and then make decisions about how bad is it that it dropped, or maybe it's not so bad at all because you have a strategy and you're planning with it. So that's the whole idea around the 401ks and what's happening with the market is that you've got to be able to look at it and confront it and then figure out exactly when you need that money and then decide from there what to do with a portion of that money to meet the needs. And that's how you allocate and segment and plan in the future with the money that's happening, with the money that you have now, and with what's going on in the market around you. So understanding what it is and how to apply it and how to work with it is the key to staying sane in and amongst all of the chaos. The goal here is to get you in the driver's seat of your finances. So the first step is look at what it is and then break it down and make a decision based on what you see, not what you hear. Great. Well, I hope you found this really helpful because that's our goal here. And I put together a quick guide for you. So don't forget to download before you jump off the Angie.CPA quick guide to 401ks. And of course, help us boost this channel. It's a new channel. We're trying to help bring some calmness to all this chaos. So like and subscribe and share with your friends and join us on the journey. We're happy to be here to help you. We're here with you, and we'll see you on the next episode.